So I thought I'd do a real quick video today, kind of a review on my favorite bike lube and then how to apply it to your chain. So my favorite bike lube, after using many lubes, whether it be dry lubes, wet lubes, even waxes, is Rock and Roll. I find this to be the easiest to put on. It keeps your chain clean, keeps your chain running smooth. You may have to apply a little more often than some of the other lubes, but I don't mind doing maintenance on my bike. It helps me keep on top of things and solve problems before they happen. With that said, I have about almost 4,000 miles on this chain, and I just use the chain checker on it, the Park Tool chain checker, and it's still nowhere needing to be replaced, still at 0.5. I'll put a link to the chain checker down in the show notes so you can see the one I'm referring to. So with no further ado, let's get into how to apply this to your chain. So the first thing I like to do before applying any new lube to my chain is to kind of clean the chain real quick and get off any of the old gunk and stuff on it. So with that said, take a shop rag and just cycle it through a couple times. Try not to hit the house with your pedals. And get it reasonably clean there. A little gunky, that's what we want. So Rock and Roll is slightly different than other lubes. You don't drip it on the chain one link at a time like you would normally do. This is a cleaner and a lube all in one. So basically you shake it up good, make sure there's no white residue left on the bottom of the bottle. As see, this is nice and clean. That's all the wax and lube that goes on your chain. The rest of it is solvent, which cleans your chain at the same time. So you take that, you take it out, and you're going to start spraying the stream on your chain as you go. I don't know how easy this is to see on camera. So you're doing a nice stream. You're going to soak that chain. Soak it really well. Go around a few times. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy putting a lot of this on. So you want the chain good and lubed. So as you can see, or maybe you can't see, but I can see that it's nice and wet. So with that said, now comes the fun part, is you're going to do like we did before in pre-cleaning the chain or just pre-rubbing it down with a rag. You're going to do that, as they say, you can't clean it enough. So basically, you're going all the solvent is on the outside now. You're going to wipe it off. It's going to make the chain shiny clean, but all the good lubrication is going inside and going to protect your chain. So we're just going to do this. Oh, gunky. So I always have extra rags. I'm going to keep doing this for a little bit until the chain comes out clean. I always like to get on the jockey pulleys a little bit, clean those off, clean the back one off. Try not to get your rag sucked into the chain. Now if I was doing a more thorough cleaning, I would actually go up with a rag and go between the cogs, but I'm not going to go that deep today. This is just kind of a quick maintenance one to do. I'll do that maybe once a month or so, depending on how many miles I'm throwing on it. And then once this is all good and clean and it's not dripping lube anymore, you can see the chain is fairly shiny at this point. I like to go ahead and just touch up the cog set, because the lube, you know, there will be a little bit of solvent dripping down on it over here. You don't want an ugly looking crank set, right? And you want to get off as much of the dirt as possible. That's the whole game to this. So pretty much that's it. The only other thing the manufacturer, you know, Rock and Roll recommends me to do is you let this sit 2 hours before you go ride it. That allows all the solvent to flash off, and then, you know, all the lube to stay inside where you need it to be. So after a little bit of wiping and cleaning, we have a nice clean chain now and a nice clean crank set. Now all we have to do is wait a couple hours before we can go out and ride it. So I hope you liked this video today on a quick little review of Rock and Roll Bike Lube and a tutorial of how to apply it. Rock and roll. I'll put a link down in the show notes to the Rock and Roll website and where you can purchase Rock and Roll. So happy cycling. Oh, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to the channel.